Welcome to ANS Solver question 9. The diagram shows a prism with a rectangular base ABFE. The cross section ABCD is a trapezium with AD is equal to BC. So this is equal to this. AB is equal to 8 centimeters as they've given. GH is equal to 5 centimeters as they've given here. BF is equal to 12 centimeters as they've given here. And angle B and angle ABC is equal to 70 degrees as they've given here. Now, calculate the total surface area of the prism. How you do that is you calculate the area of each shape on the entire 3D shape. So there are 1 and 2 same sized rectangles. There are 1 and 2 same sized trapeziums, and there is a third shape and a fourth shape, both also rectangles but different measures or different lengths. Now let's calculate the area shape by shape. Let's calculate the area of shapes 1 first, that are the two rectangles CBGF and DHAE. So let's do that. So to calculate let's go ahead and calculate the trapeziums first. So how we do that is, the area of a trapezium, the formula is half into sum of the base and sum of the parallel sides into the height. The height, that is this dotted line, that we have to find, and that would be pretty easy. Now, so half, into the sum of the parallel sides, so 8 plus 5 multiplied by the height, multiplied by 2, because there are two trapeziums. So the height, in this case, we have to use trigonometry to find the height. Now we know the length of the entire base of the trapezium AB, that is 8, and we know the length of the upper length, that is DC, which is 5. So therefore it excludes this portion on both the sides of the trapezium. So 8 minus 5 would give us 3, and 3 divided by 2, because both these lengths would be the same. So 3 divided by 2 would be 1.5. Therefore we can use the tan rule. So tan 70. Now since tan is opposite, tan of x is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent side, we know the adjacent side, so we can take the adjacent side to the other side of the equation. Division when taken to the other side of the equation becomes multiplication. So tan 70 multiplied by 1.5, that will give us the height. So this is only for the two trapeziums. Now let's move on to the other shapes. Let's do the top rectangle. So that is pretty straightforward, length into breadth, so 5 into 12. Let's do the bottom rectangle, that is 8 into 12. And that leaves us with the two rectangles to the side. So 2 multiplied by, because there are two of them, 12 multiplied by the hypotenuse of the triangle CYB. So how we can do that is, either you find the hypotenuse or you can use another trigonometric function. That is, so we know the adjacent side, so we have to use cos. So the formula for cos is equal to, cos x is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Now in this case we have to find the hypotenuse, so it would be the adjacent side, that is 1.5, divided by cos 70. This would give us the side CB. So now therefore we can just input the entire calculation in the calculator and calculate the final answer. So firstly we can cancel this 2 and this 2, and we can yeah, that will help make our calculation easier. So 8 plus 5 is 8 plus 5, my bad, is 12, no 13. So tan 70 is 2.74 multiplied by 1.5, which is 4.12, multiplied by 13, which is 53.7 .575809. Now it is important to write as many decimal places as you can, so that you don't have the premature rounding error. So next you do 5 into 12, which is 60, and next you do 8 into 12, which is 96, and next you do 2 into 12, which is 24, multiplied by 1.5, which is 36. So 36 divided by cos 70, so that is 105.25695. Again, write as many decimal places so that you don't face the premature rounding error. Now you just add all the numbers. So 105.25695 plus 96 plus 60 plus 53.575809. So we will get our final answer as 314.8327. And since we have to give our answer in 3 significant figures, our final answer for this question would be 315 centimeters square. This is because the number to the right of the decimal place, that is the 8, is greater than 5. Therefore it rounds off the 4 to the next number, that would be 5 in this case. Therefore your final answer being 315 centimeters square. Now let's move on to part B. So part 1 says that we have to show Ex is equal to 6.5. So we can erase this for now, these numbers. So Ex, that would be this, and they are telling us that the perpendicular from G onto EF meets EF at X. So if we bring this down, like this, and make sure to use a ruler so that you get exact answers. If we bring that down and connect this with this, so this point would be named as X. So we have to find the length of Ex. Therefore it is pretty easy to show this since it's only 1 mark. So we basically the EF, the entire EF, so we basically have to do EF minus HG, or yeah, so EF is 8 centimeters minus HG, which is 5 centimeters. My bad. So 8 minus the 5 centimeters. So no, my bad. So we have to do 8 minus the length of XF, that is right here. So how we find XF would be, as we found here, it would be the same length as this. So it would be 8 minus 5 divided by 2, because it gets divided into 2 places at the 2 ends of the base of the trapezium. So therefore we have 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Therefore our final answer being 6.5. Now let's calculate AX. So AX is from here to this point. My bad. Right here. So we can create, since the base is a rectangle, we can create a right angle triangle and easily find the value of AX. So the right angle triangle will look like this. This is the right angle. The base, as we've calculated, EX, that would be 6.5 centimeters, and the height, as they've given it to us, is 12 centimeters. So all we need to do is 12 square, or the Pythagoras theorem, 12 square plus 6.5 square is equal to AX square. So AX square is therefore equal to, if you do 12 square, you will get 144, plus 6.5 square, you will get 186.25. So your answer would be root of 186.25, because when you take the index to the other side, it becomes the root of that index. So if it's 3 that you're taking to the other side, it would become cube root. In this case it's square, so it becomes square root. So therefore your final answer, or AX, or the value of AX, would be 13.6. So in your calculator you would get 13.6473, but since this 4 is not above 5, it doesn't round off the 6 to the next number. And as you can see, again we are giving our answer in 3 significant figures, and it is very important to do that, otherwise you will lose a mark. Now let's move on to part B3. Calculate the angle between the diagonal AG and the base ABFE. So that would be this angle. So let's draw the triangle again. It always becomes easier when you have the shape, or that secluded shape, in front of you instead of the whole shape, because the whole shape may confuse you at times. So the height of GX, that we found in the first question as tan 70 multiplied by 1.5. So we can write that here, tan 70 multiplied by 1.5. So this is GX, and the end of the triangle is A. Now we have to find the angle of GA AX. Yeah, so this angle we have to find. So we know the value of AX, as we found above, as 13.6. So we can use the tan rule for trigger. So tan X is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent. So let's label this angle as X for now. So tan X is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent. So 1.5 multiplied tan 70, that is the opposite angle, opposite side, divided by the adjacent side, that is 13.6. So therefore X is equal to tan inverse of, so when you take the tan to the other side of the equation, when you take any trigonometric function to the other side of the equation, it becomes the inverse of the function. So you can do 1.5 multiplied by tan 70 divided by 13.6. So you will get tan inverse of 0.3030305. And again, you input this into your calculator as tan inverse by clicking on shift and then tan. So you'll get the tan inverse function of your previous answer of 0.3030305, and you will get your answer as 16.8584. Now Angles, we have to give our answer in one decimal place, no matter how many significant figures. We have to give our answer to one decimal place. In most cases. In this case, they haven't specified, so it's better to give it in a single decimal place, which would also satisfy the 3 significant figure mark. So, since the number to the right of the third digit is a 5, it will round off the 8 to the next number, that will be 9. Therefore, your final answer being 16.9 degrees. Therefore, these are your final answers for part B.